Banyamyn, chapter 1. The copy of the words of Banyamyn, which he commanded his Banim to observe after he had lived 125 years. He kissed them and said, As Yitzchak was born to Abraham in his old age, so also was I to Yaaqub. And since Rahel my mother died in giving me birth, I had no milk, therefore I was nursed by Bilhah, her female servant. For Rahel remained barren for 12 years after she had borne Yusef. And she plowed to Yaaqub with fasting 12 days, and she conceived and bore me. For my father loved Rahel dearly, and plowed that he might see two Banim born to her. Therefore I was called Banyamyn, that is, a bond of days. Chapter 2. And when I went to Mitzrayim to Yusef, and my brother recognized me, he said to me, What did they tell my father when they sold me? And I said to him, They dipped your coat in blood and sent it, and said, Know whether this is your Banim's or not. And Yusef said to me, Even so, brother, the Canaanite merchants stole me by force. And it came to be that as they went on their way, they hid my garment, as though a wild beast had met me and slain me. And so his companions sold me to the Ishmaelites, and they did not lie in saying this, for he indeed to conceal the deeds of my brothers from me. And he called his brothers to him and said, Do not tell my father what you have done by me, or done to me, but tell him as I have told Banyamyn. And let the thoughts among you be such, and do not let these matters come to the heart of my father. Chapter 3. Therefore you also, my Banim, love Yahuwah Elohim of the Shemayim and Eretz, and guard his commands, following the examples of the good and Kadush male Yusef, and let your heart be towards good, even as you know me. For he that has his heart right sees all matters rightly. Revere Yahuwah, and love your neighbor. And even though the Rukut of Balial claim you to afflict you with every evil, yet they do not rule over you, even as they did not over Yusef my brother. How much males intended to slay him, and Elohim shielded him. For he that reveres Elohim and loves his neighbor cannot be smitten by the Ruka Balial, being shielded by the reverence of Elohim. Nor can he be ruled over by the plots of males or breasts, for he is assisted by Yahweh through the love which he has towards his neighbor. For Yusef also pleaded with our father that he would plow for his brothers, that Yahweh would not reckon as their crime to him whatever evil they had done to him. And thus Yaaqub cried out, My good child, you have prevailed over the inward parts of your father Yaaqub. And he embraced him and kissed him for 2 hours. Chapter 4. Therefore you see, my Banim, the end of the good male. Therefore be followers of his compassion with a good heart, that you also may wear crowns of esteem. For the good male does not have a darkened eye, for he shows favor to all males, even though they are lawless. And though concerning him they devise with evil intent, by doing good he overcomes evil, being shielded by Elohim. And he loves the righteous as his own being. If anyone is esteemed, he does not envy him. If anyone is enriched, he is not jealous. If anyone is brave, he praises him. The noble male he extols. He's shown favor on the poor male. He has compassion on the weak. To Elohim he sings praises. As for he who has this reverence of Elohim, he protects him as with a shield. He that loves Elohim he assists. He that rejects the Most High he warns and turns back. And he that has favor of good root he loves as his own being. Chapter 5. Therefore if you also have a good heart, then both wicked males shall be at peace with you. and the reprobate shall revere you and turn to good, and those greedy for gain shall not only cease from their excessive desire, but even give the objects of their greed to those who are afflicted. If you do good, even the unclean recruit shall flee from you, and the beast shall fear you. For where there is reverence for good works and light and the heart, even darkness flees away from him. For if anyone does violence to a Kadush male, he repents. For a Kadush male is compassionate to his reviler, and holds his peace. And if anyone betrays a righteous male, the righteous male plows. Though for a little he is humbled, yet not long after he appears far more esteemed, as was Yusef my brother. Chapter 6. The inclination of a good male is not in the power of the deceit of the Rook of Balial, for the messenger of peace guides his being, and he does not look longingly upon corruptible matters, nor gathers together riches through a desire of pleasure. He does not delight in pleasure, he does not distress his neighbor, he does not satisfy himself with luxuries, he does not stray in the uplifting of the eyes. Yahuwah is his portion. The good inclination does not receive esteem nor dishonor from males, does not know any deceit or falsehood or fighting or reviling. For Yahuwah dwells in him and lights up his being, and he rejoices towards all males always. The good heart does not have two tongues, of barakah and of cursing, of insolence and of respect, of sorrow and of joy, of peace and of confusion, of hypocrisy and of truth, of poverty and wealth. But it has one inclination, righteous and pure, concerning all males. It has no double sight, nor double hearing, for in all which he does, or speaks, or sees, he knows that Yahuwah looks on his being. And he cleanses his heart so that he was not condemned by males as good as by Elohim. And likewise the works of Belial are twofold, and there is no sincerity in them. Chapter 7. Therefore, my Banim, I tell you, flee the evil of Belial, for he gives a sword to those that obey him. And the sword is the mother of 7 evils. At the beginning, the heart conceives through Belial. The first, there is bloodshed. Second, ruin. Third, affliction. Fourth, exile. Fifth, scarcity of food. Sixth, confusion. Seventh, destruction. Therefore, Cain was also delivered over the 7 vengeances by Elohim. For in every 100 years Yahuwah brought one plague upon him. And when he was 200 years old, he began to suffer, and in the 900th year he was destroyed. For he was judged on the account of Habal, his brother, with all the evils, but Lamech with 70 times 7. Because those who are like Cain, and envy and hatred of brothers, shall be punished forever with the same judgment. Chapter 8. And you, my Banim, flee evil-doing, envy, and hatred of brothers, and cling to goodness and love. He that has a pure heart and love does not look after a female with a viewing to whoring, for he has no defilement in his heart, because the Ruach of Elohim rests upon him. For as the greater light is not defiled by the shining of dung and mire, but rather dries up both and drives away the evil smell, so also the pure heart, though surrounded by the defilements of the arets, rather cleanses and is not defiled itself. Chapter 9. And I believe that among you there shall be also evil doings from the words of Canuk, the righteous, that you shall commit whoring with the whoring of Saddam, and shall perish, all except a few, and shall renew shameless deeds with females, and the reign of Yahuwah shall not be among you, for he shall take it away immediately. Nevertheless, the Hakal of Elohim shall be in your portion, and the last shall be more esteemed than the first, and the 12 tribes shall be gathered together there, and all the Gentiles, until the Most High shall send forth his salvation, and the visitation of an only brought forth Nabi. Chapter 10. Now when Yusef was in Mitzrayim, I longed to see his figure and the form of his face. And through the palal of Yaaqub my father I saw him, while awake in the daytime, even his entire figure exactly as he was. And when he had said these words, he said to them, Know therefore, my banim, that I am dying. You therefore work truth and righteousness, each one according to his neighbor, and right ruling unto acceptance, and guard the Torah of Yahuwah and his commands. For these words I leave you instead of inheritance. Therefore also give them to your children for an everlasting possession. For so did both Abraham and Yitzchak and Yaaqub. For all these words they gave us for an inheritance, saying, Guard the commands of Elohim until Yahuwah shall reveal his deliverance to the Gentiles. And then you shall see Chanuk, Noah, Sham, Abraham, and Yitzchak, and Yaaqub, rising on the right hand in gladness. Then we shall also rise, each one over our tribe, worshipping the sovereign of the Shemayim. Then all males shall also rise, some to esteem and some to shame. Therefore, my banim, if you walk in Kadashah according to the commands of Yahuwah, you shall again dwell safely with me, and all Israel shall be gathered to Yahuwah. Chapter 11. And I shall no longer be called a ravening wolf on the account of your ravages, but a worker of Yahuwah, distributing food to those who do what is good. And in latter times there shall rise up from my seed one beloved of Yahuwah, hearing his voice, and a doer of the good pleasure of his desire, enlightening all the Gentiles with new knowledge, even the light of knowledge bursting in upon Yisrael for deliverance. Chapter 12. And when he finished his words, he said, I command you, my banim, carry up my bones out of Mitzrayim, and bury me at Hebron near my fathers. So Banyamyn died 125 years old, at a good old age. They placed him in a coffin, and in the 91st year from the entrance of the children of Yisrael into Mitzrayim, they and their brothers brought up the bones of their fathers secretly during the battle of Canaan, and they buried them in Hebron by the feet of their fathers, and they turned from the land of Canaan and dwelt in Mitzrayim until the day of their departure from the land of Mitzrayim.